Around here, it almost never snows. It's not real warm, but snow is rare. So when it does happen, we are all woefully unprepared. It's February, and we receive an inch of snow, bringing the city to a screeching halt. Buses stopped, stores closed, news media in a panic, that sort of thing. One channel ran coverage all night calling it Snowpocalypse, which seems maybe just slightly hyperbolic. I wake up in the morning and assess the situation. It's dark out still, and the snow off the previous afternoon has transformed into a sheet of ice, which the city is even less prepared for. I briefly contemplate calling into work and watching movies with the cat all day, but then I remember that I have a Jeep. I also remember that my bosses know I have a Jeep, so a little inclement weather is not going to work as a valid excuse. Damn. Instead, I pile on my battleship-grade gas guzzler and head toward work, winding through streets filled with abandoned cars and past closed businesses with dark windows, empty parking lots, and switched-off neon signs. An articulated bus sits on a hill, kinked in half, lying where its driver abandoned it. We truly are idiots in this city. Nearly 4 million people panicking at the first sight of anything that doesn't look like rain. Dishonest used car dealership was in an industrial park built on a gradual hill. The lot was perhaps 100 yards deep, with a service bay at the top, a sloped parking lot in between, and the sales office at the bottom facing the street. Because of the particular vagaries of our lease agreement, the company we leased the property from was responsible for de-icing the pavement. But because our landlady was a miserable old bat, she never did. Any day below freezing turned the lot into an ice rink, and the owners were much too cheap to have one of us peeing sprinkle salt around. With the city shut down from the weather, we didn't have a whole lot to do. Most of the day was spent watching the Raver, one of the lackeys in the service department, run up to the top of the lot and moonwalk on the ice all the way down toward the office. He was remarkably coordinated for someone who regularly ate his weight in psychotropic substances. Sadly, we were not completely customer-free. Come 11 o'clock, I had one of my least favorite regulars in the shop. He owned a Volvo V70, which he had bought from us a year prior. The car still had a bit of our terrible scammy warranty on it, and he was intent on using every ounce of free service he could get away with. According to him, there wasn't a single system on board that was functioning properly. It barfed oil, it made a horrible noise when reversing, it wouldn't start half the time, and it was all our fault. This was a pattern with him, and we had played this game 1,000 times, only to find nothing wrong nearly every single time. The customer departed in felonious monk, one of my techs, pulled a Volvo into the bay. Immediately, he found that absolutely nothing serious was wrong with the car. The noise in reverse was normal idler gear whine. The oil leak was just a spill from a quick lube shop, and the car fired right up every time we turned the key. The worst we could say was that the ball joints had a touch of play, and the brake pads were getting thin. Both normal wear items. I called the customer and relayed the news. It's not uncommon for cars to straighten up and behave themselves at the doctor's office. So I figured we were in for an uncomfortable conversation about how we can't fix a problem we can't reproduce. Instead, he surprised me by immediately abandoning his initial concerns and barraging me with 1,000 others. The driver's window doesn't roll down, and the defroster doesn't do anything. And the last time you worked on it, I had you change the air filter, but the guys who changed my oil said you didn't do it. I'm sick of you guys charging me for work, and then not doing it and stealing my money. Sick of IT. Oh boy, I had the tech roll it back into the bay to check out these new claims. The driver's window worked perfectly. The defrost made the glass nice and toasty warm, and an inspection of the air filter showed it looked practically new. The tech brought meth repair order back with the text, "This fucking SAR is fine," scrawled across it. I called the customer once more, steeling myself for another barrage of complaints or his trademark brand of shouty craziness. "Sir, we've looked over the car, and the window's behaving itself for us. We're also getting good heat out of the defroster. My tech pulled open the filter housing, and it's got a newish air filter, the one we put in the last time you were in." "Him, which window did you look at?" "Me, we checked the drivers, as you asked." "Him, oh, it's the front one on the left." "Me, sir, that is the driver's window, and it's working all right for us right now. We're not getting any unusual noises from the motor or the regulator, and it's moving up and down smoothly, just as it should. Him, how come every time I bring my car to you, you can't find anything wrong with it? The real answer was that nothing was wrong in the first place, and that this customer had some form of borderline personality disorder. But instead of suggesting that it wasn't a mechanic he needed to be visiting on a weekly basis, I lied. Sometimes that is, unfortunately, the way of things. We joke that cars are scared of us and behave themselves when they're in the shop. He bellowed his way into the middle of my sentence. Him, that's not a very funny joke, because some of us have to work for a living and... I cut him off. I'm afraid, though, we have to be able to reproduce the conditions in order to figure out what's wrong. Otherwise, we'll never be able to identify what has failed. We can keep the car overnight and have another look in the morning, or you can come grab it any time you like. Your choice. You're still under warranty for a while yet, so if these problems crop up again, we'll gladly have a look. Cue a bunch of huffing and not quite words. I was getting pretty fed up with this conversation. Sir, here's the deal. Everything you've been concerned about on this car is functioning fine and works great for us. We have, once again, found no areas of major concern with the car whatsoever, and you can come and get it any time you like. An hour later, he stomped into my office, demanding the keys. Sir, before you go, I'd like to show you something. I walked him out to where I had his car stashed in the parking lot, cautioning him about the slippery ice. I popped the hood and clicked open the air box. This is your air filter. You know, the one you accuse us of not changing? When this style of air filter is new, it's bright white. When it's old, it's nearly black with dust. Doesn't that look pretty new to you? Him, I suppose it does. But you just put a new filter in there today after you got caught trying to scam me. And we somehow embedded a few 100 miles worth of dust into the fibers? I suggest that rather than us trying to scam you, it's your oil change place trying to charge you for a filter you didn't need. We're an honest shop. We make a good living without having to resort to scamming customers over a $20 air filter. This was not strictly true. We were not an honest shop, but my bosses prefer to scam people on big-ticket items, like selling lemons or pushing unnecessary major repairs. A $20 air filter wasn't even on their radar. He sheepishly agreed, then refocused his righteous anger into a minimally coherent tirade against the oil change shop. Just then, none other than the Raver slid by on his way to grab a jump box. To my horror, the customer decided the Raver's moonwalking looked like great fun and tried sliding after him. He made it approximately 3 feet before he fell hard on his ass and began screaming. This parking lot is dangerous. I could have broken a bone. I think I broke my tailbone. My neck's broken, I know it. My wife is an attorney. I'm going to sue the company for everything it's worth. He shouldn't be sliding around like that. I had encountered his wife the last time the car was in. She most certainly was not an attorney. Based on my brief conversation with her, she didn't even appear to be sentient. Also, as an aside, suing a shitty little used car dealership for all it's worth isn't going to get you very far, considering how often our payments to vendors bounced. Irritated as I was, I am only mostly a sociopath, so I reached out a hand to help him up. I'm sorry, sir. It is slippery out here with all the ice. We've been trying to get the landlady to spread salt over the lot, but she hasn't done it yet. I can give her your information if you need it. Come on, let me help you up. I helped him off his tail and into his car. Thinking the encounter was over, I started walking back to the office. Behind me, I heard his car pull alongside and his window roll down. I'm not done with you yet, and don't you ever turn your back on a customer. I sighed and slowly turned around to face him. There wasn't anything left to say on either side. So he paused, searched for words, and then snapped his mouth shut. He punctuated his non-sentence by trying to do a big, angry burnout, but his front tires just whirred impotently against the sheet ice. Just then, the Raver, having observed the commotion from the top of the lot, slid right between the customer's car and myself. As he glided past the customer's open window, he belted out, "Have a good day, sir." The Raver coasted a few paces in front of the car, held his arms aloft like an Olympic ice skater, took a deep bow, and then moonwalked his way across the rest of the icy parking lot. I have never laughed so hard in my life.